welcome back to the UIA Trusted Partners Podcast. On today's episode, I have Humble Lion Consulting. In fact, I have the owner of Humble Lion Consulting, Caitlin Seedy. Did I get your last name correct?
I want to give it to you because I want to be nice, but no.
No, you got to tell me that.
It's
I was going to ask before. Seedy.
Yeah.
I was going to ask before the show, but the cameras got rolling on me too quick. I forgot to ask.
It's okay. Everyone gets it wrong.
I was trying my best, though. I did do a little research on how to try to say it correctly. I'm just bad with pronunciation.
I love that.
I tried my best.
So then you know its origin from Sikhism.
I didn't know how to say the origin, so thank you. Yes, I do know that. now I know how to say it. Yes, but again, I really appreciate you making some time coming on to the show. We're having a lot of fun, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I promise. You were a little nervous, but we'll put all that to rest. It's a good, fun show. It's good, family fun, kind of sometimes. Most of the time, I'll say.
I'll try to stay family fun, guys.
Always no. If you know Aaron Frederick, sometimes the show gets a little unfamily friend.
Okay, good to know. So I will be my raw, genuine self.
Yes. Be raw, be genuine. For the listeners out there, and again, we're kind of talking on the UIA Trusted Partners podcast side because, of course, on the Humble Lion marketing side, which on my camera and the recording process here, you can't see, but we are Facebook Live today. For those of you on, we'll say my end, who haven't had the chance to either meet you or maybe look into what Humble Lion Consulting is, what is Humble Lion Consulting and what do you offer for your clients?
Of course. Well, Humble Lion Consulting actually started when I was meeting with a young entrepreneur that's a friend. And I was just giving advice and some, staffing advice, some business plan advice. And after a couple times we met, he actually looked at me and was like, why don't you bottle this up and sell it? And that was the birth of Humble Lion Consulting. It kind of just felt like fate falling into my lap. And what we focus on is helping young entrepreneurs, startups, and small business owners here in the Omaha area achieve their branding, social media management, and operation goals and actually get ROI. That's the biggest thing that we do help guarantee is seeing that ROI.
Yeah, because I think a lot of times when it comes to marketing, advertising, even just social media attention, we'll put it that way, always you hear the business owner, well, what did you make off that? Well, right. What did I get out of that?
Right.
So that's always the first thing top of mind. So I'm happy that you like to address that right off the bat here. Now, of course, when we talk about branding, what I'm curious about is maybe a common occurrence that you tend to run into or see with either newer companies or maybe companies that have been around but maybe just haven't branded like they should have been.
Sure. A common occurrence I see is people mix up branding, marketing, and ads. Those are all completely different things, and a lot of people go straight to ads, whether or not they have a logo or a brand solidified. And then, sometimes they might have that brand down, but it's not really fully fleshed out. It doesn't really have a strategy behind it. It doesn't really fit with your actual goals or your overall future of your company. So you don't know how to market it, and you just put money behind ads, hoping that it'll stick. And sometimes it does, and sometimes it works. But I work a lot with, when it comes to branding, marketing that's more organic because you want social media, you want your business to be genuine and authentic. And the only way to do that is building relationships, not pushing sales.
Yeah.
And that is a huge thing when it comes to social media. So the brand is the whole foundation of the house. When you think of a business, I think of branding as the foundation of the house. The framework would be like the marketing. And then to fill it in with all the great stuff once you're making money is operations, franchising even. So there's a lot of great things when it comes to actually solidifying a branding strategy and goal. And it aligns a lot with your business goals. So if your brand does not match where you're going, then you have it wrong.
Yeah, I think that's actually a really smart approach to that, because as somebody who in my previous life before all this did work in radio, did cut a lot of advertisements for a lot of different businesses back in my day, I can tell you some that are still in my head to this day because of how many advertisements they would do, but they've been doing it for years.
Yeah.
And then I remember there was a couple of one-off companies that, I'm just going to advertise for a month. They didn't even have a logo.
Where's the ROI in that?
Yeah, and that was kind of the thing. Is I kind of thought about that.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, yeah, I mean, it's always the hook, right?
Yeah.
Of, I can get you on TV for an advertisement, or I can put you on the radio for an advertisement. It's that appeal of, I can get a little fame feel kind of deal, exposure. But to the point of Humble Lion, if there is no cinder blocks, we'll say, to put your poles on and put your framework in.
Love it.
your house is going to be like the Three Little Pigs. And you don't want
Love that. Yep. And gosh, the world of business will huff and puff and blow the house away if you do not have a strong
second thought.
Strong, sturdy foundation.
Yes,
love it.
Absolutely. Now, I am curious, just on my end of things, and as I read up on your website and did a little homework on my end, what is a company mood board? And how important is that to either have it focused or have it very clear?
Yeah, that's a great question. A lot of people actually skim over the mood board, but it's very important, especially when it comes to branding.
Because that was like the one thing that I was like, that's the interesting flag.
Really?
Yeah, because that's just an oddball thing.
I like the way you think.
Yeah, because to me, I'm like, everything else kind of seems standard protocol of like, hey, we're going to take things A, B, and C. But the mood board just kind of seemed like, we're going to go A, B, and purple. So my brain jumped to it.
I am very outside the box and very passionate. I mean, if you work with me, you'll understand I'm all over the place, but I can get your ideas done. So I love that. That sticks out on the website. But yeah, so part of our branding packages, our 4 main things are, of course, logo design, if you don't have that already. And then we offer either a mood board, brand kit, or a full-fledged business plan, which will go over your goals as well that we talked about and highlighted. Obviously, the brand kit and the business plan is a lot more detailed and takes a lot more work and consideration and collaboration, of course, too, going into it. So a lot of clients like the mood board because you can have all your fonts, all your logos, all your thumbnails, all your color codes, and even like a few images at the bottom to really highlight the theme of what feelings do you want your consumers to see when they're going on your website, when they're scrolling through your Facebook or your social media.
Interesting.
And so it's just like a basic 1 or 2 pager that I can work with for my content and that can also give to our clients because some of our clients do have marketing teams already. And maybe I meet with them monthly or maybe I'm more hands-on, but this really sets up a tone for that brand. So if they don't have a mood board, if they don't have a brand kit, I highly suggest getting something down, and that 1 pager is something that's super easy for a lot of small business owners to understand and just grab and pull content from.
And that's why I talked to you, Caitlin Sadie, Humble Lion Consulting. You are the owner, and of course, you are the woman in charge and the woman involved with it. I see the videos all the time. A couple of your businesses that you help with and correlate with and represent, I've kind of followed along on Facebook and kind of checked out more into because I'm not originally from Omaha. So getting to see some of these businesses here and getting to see avenues that from a optic standpoint, if you're just kind of coming through Omaha and you're driving around, you don't really see them.
Oh, Omaha is so
There's
underrated.
There's so much.
It's so underrated. I mean, when I first started working here 4 years ago, I was like, I had offices in Kansas City and Des Moines that I could work with when I was in corporate life. And it's like, Omaha, gosh, that's the place you go to when you drive to go to Colorado. And now this is literally my home, my life, my business, my friends, my love. Like, Omaha has really, really made me who I am today, I think. So I'm proud to be part of Omaha now.
Me too, because it was about 4 years ago when I moved over here as well. Yeah, because I've always been kind of in Nebraska or around for some of my childhood. I was kind of out and about in the U.S. there. But for the most part, it's not more like there. But for the most part, I've been in Nebraska. A lot of time radio was spent up in Norfolk and then just kind of made a jump down
Beautiful
here.
Area over there. Yeah.
It can be.
It can be.
It can be. But when it's like negative 40 and there's so much ice and snow that you don't know like which way is up, it's not very pretty. Yeah. And when you have to work in radio, you have to go in. Ooh. You don't get sick day. You get to go in. Yeah. So that was the worst. But I digress. Back into Humble Lion Consulting here. Another great way you guys help your clients is, of course, social media and social media marketing. Now, I'd love for you to kind of take us through a little walk here on your process of how you kind of help your clients come up with that content, but also have it be meaningful for your client. So it's not just a copy and paste and I've got your solution.
Yeah, and I mean, that's really what makes us different. We're not a cookie cutter marketing agency. We're not going to take your logos and your graphics or current content you have and be like, all right, we'll talk to you in a month or so and do what we have to do. Collaboration.
There's a filter.
Collaboration is the biggest thing, and strategy. We're not just posting to post. I mean, that's the biggest thing that, you're not going to see an ROI when you have no call to action, you have no strategy behind it, when it doesn't meet the goals that you're looking for. So we actually plan content calendars where we go in and we give you ideas for, content when it comes to Reels, Live, hence Facebook Live, stories, all that great stuff, because to have a healthy Facebook algorithm, you have to have a mixture of all of that. So having a strategy behind how can we hit every platform, how can we hit every tool, how can we be in favor of the algorithm, and how can we still stay genuine? Because people, especially in Omaha, buy from who they know, like, and trust. And that's why networking and your own network itself can be influential when you start a small business, but then you hit a wall because your network only knows as much as their network, and you can't really grow from there. So you need to be your genuine self, but on a digital presence as well. So there is a lot of thought process and brainstorming that goes behind that, and it's something that I really, consider when I take on new clients. If I can collaborate with them, communicate with them, and most importantly, see their vision. Yeah. That's the biggest thing. If I can't, I unfortunately will not take them on, because how can I help serve you if I can't see your vision?
Well, I mean, that's just honest business, right?
Yeah, true.
I think that just speaks volume to how you operate, because I would rather somebody tell me, hey, look, little out there, I don't get it, than just sit there and go, you know what, this is gonna work. I've got the strategy, and then take the money until it doesn't work.
Exactly. And I'm not in it for the money.
Exactly.
Like I said, I started off just doing this with a friend in a shop. He, got a new shop. It acquired on a lot of expenses, and he was going into slow season, and just out of friendliness, I'm like, hey, I come from a staffing background. I come from HR background, and I help a lot of small businesses during COVID stay open by reevaluating their business plans and their onboarding. And it's crazy that you get to choose when you're a small business owner who you get to work with, and a lot of my clients are honestly now friends. Some of them went to my birthday party.
Which happy belated birthday, by the way.
Thank you. We had a little tea party. But, it's crazy to think that, as a small business owner, you really get to pick and choose who you work with, and, figuring out that vision and being able to collaborate with them is a big thing.
Yeah. And I think just the networking that goes into what we do here in Omaha, we've talked about it a lot on the show. In fact, I've had Centersphere on the show. I've had the NBA on the show as well. Even the Westo Chamber has come on the show.
The kids table now.
I know. If you're looking to be a volunteer for the kids table.
Well, I would love to get my VP in at least, or something, or
absolutely.
My social chair, Caleb Duncan. He's a hoot. He's fun.
More than happy, because we've had dual episodes on. We've had three-headed episodes.
I love it.
The door is open for those. Yes, absolutely.
Hear that, listeners? Coming soon.
Coming soon. The kids table.
Oh, yes. Do your best coming soon voice, please.
Coming soon. The kids table 2025.
I love it. A
little out of practice, but something similar to that.
It's okay. You have some time.
I have a little bit of time, and on Facebook Live probably didn't sound the best, but hey, if you're
we're making them nervous, guys.
I know, you got me nervous. You got me shaking. No, just kidding.
Cheers.
Over here spilling my water everywhere.
Oh, love it.
Now, of course, we like to have fun, because you and I have built social rapport throughout different networking events, different just, hey, let's catch a coffee here and just catch up, see how things are going, see what's going on with each other. I know a lot of times when businesses are trying to figure out what's a good time to work with somebody like you and work with a professional like yourself. I'm curious, what is a good time, if not just any?
Well, I mean, if you're not focusing on marketing, then you're not going to grow. So definitely any time. But right now, the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025 is really crucial, especially if you want to hit the goals and milestones for 2025. Right now, I'm actually offering a free digital evaluation up until the end of December. And I was going to limit it. However, we had a lot of feedback and a lot of entries and inquiries that wanted to do it. And, I thought, why not offer free advice? And they can take it and run with it from there. Or, if they want to work and figure out how we can plug it into a strategy, then I'd love to help them out. And I don't just do social media management. I also help with monthly meetings. I do consultations as well. So if you have a full team, or if you're capable of doing it and just need training, I help out with that as well. But yeah, right now is crucial. Going to 2025, everyone's figuring out how can they do their business better? How can they be a better business owner? How can they maybe even go from owner-operator to owner? Hey. That's the biggest thing. Or to franchisor if they're if they're ready in that area.
Yeah, no, I love that. Yeah. And I think that conversation is best had with the professional that's across from me. Of course, we are sitting down with Caitlin Sadie, Humble Lion Consulting. She is the owner, and she is no better person to talk to than obviously the person who's going to make you grow the right way and the smart way, of course, because we talked about a lot of organic growth rather than just, hey, I blasted this Facebook ad and it reached 10,000 people. Good luck. There's an actual...
A lot of them may be bots.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of, 9,982 of those were bots. The other 8 were your grandma and your friends. And then the last 10 was the random guy that clicked on it because he sneezed. Now,
wow, you really understand it.
I understand social media to a T.
I love it.
Having the podcast, sometimes we run into similar growing pains. So I can understand and relate to the business owners, unfortunately.
There's a difference between reach and engagement. Again, if you're just doing sales and you're reaching, you might not even be reaching your target audience. So you may be getting 1% out of the 100%.
Yep.
Whereas organic, it's all about that relationship building. And that's the biggest thing. And I got to emphasize, if you're taking anything away from this, whether you work with me or not, on Facebook, it's all about relationship building, not sales.
Yes, exactly. So
and
build
any
the
social
relationship.
media platform. Yeah.
Yes. Now, I am curious here, when we are talking about social media and content thereof, what goes into choosing a good time and maybe a schedule, perhaps, of content creation versus the posting of that content? Because obviously, all work and no play makes us dull. But on the other hand, if you're doing nothing but filming content and you're doing all this fun stuff, nothing gets done.
Yeah, 100%. Love this question. It goes with the strategy. So that is part of our strategy planning. However, the things to factor in are, of course, the platform that you're using. So what's the best time to post on that platform?
Sure.
What's the best time to post, for your industry? And then also for your region, so Omaha. And then you also have to look at your own insights. So fourth thing is your own current target audience. When are they most on? When are they most likely to engage with you? Not only reach you, but engage and interact, follow, share, comment, refer a friend, because that's when you're really going to get that big boost. And that's when you see the ROI.
And I find a lot of times, especially kind of on my personal Facebook side of things, it's always in the evening.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of my friends are 4 o'clock past. So that's kind of when I know I'm going to hit my family members, different people who I know might enjoy the podcast episode or might want to actually share it around. It's weird that you can share it 3 hours or 2 hours before that and they'll never know it existed.
Yep.
That's just the craziness that can happen.
I love pre-scheduling, honestly. Yes. I could just forget about it.
It's so nice.
It's already approved. Nice. It's good to go. But a general rule of thumb, obviously, like I said, you want to include all those factors when you're thinking about that content strategy. But, Mondays at 3 p.m. is a great time when it comes to Meta. Wednesdays at 7 p.m., Meta and TikTok. Thursdays, 7 p.m. as well.
I guess I'm dating myself. I keep calling it Facebook.
Well, Meta is Facebook and Instagram. Well, it's calling Twitter X, honestly. I try to say X and just I X this out. No, what do you X out? You need to tweet it out?
It's just so dumb.
It is. Sorry, Elon. Come on.
That was the ESPN. Come on, man. He needed that moment.
We're going to be a blooper.
We will be. Now, of course, when we are talking about these social medias and all these different ones, whether it's Meta, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, X, whatever the case may be, you're going to have listeners. I can already hear this in the comment section. I can hear them typing. Where should I be sharing my content? I'm sure this is probably the question you hear a lot.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't have a cookie cutter answer.
Right.
However, Meta, Facebook and Instagram, for those that are older, I'm just kidding. But
my oxygen, my
But no, Facebook and Instagram is a really great resource for small business owners. You have, millennials, Gen Zers on Instagram. They love reels. They love funny stuff. They love engaging content. And I see a lot of engagement when it comes to Instagram. Whereas on Facebook, there's larger reach and there's a lot of other small business owners. So it depends also if you're B2C, B2B. If you're B2B, LinkedIn might be the best. I even have a gamer, a content streamer. And so he's on X or Twitter, what do you want to call it? Kick. He's on Trovo, Twitch. He just joined Party, which has cryptocurrency in it as well. So we have a cryptocurrency specialist now on the Humble Lion team. So as the needs of our clients grow, we obviously add more people to our team as well that are actually experts in that area. So you're not just working with me, you're working with a field of experts in logo design, graphic design, content creation. You name it, website development. development. So, that's a pretty cool thing about it. But yeah, so I mean, it really just depends on the platform. TikTok is really great, especially if you have products that can be shipped anywhere. But if you're a service that is localized, TikTok is good for exposure, but it's not going to be showing you the ROI. So it depends on what your goals are. So if your goals are getting more exposure and just getting known out there, I have clients that are nonstop busy. They just want to go viral. That's all. And I have clients that are relying on Facebook for their sales. So again, it just depends on the leads. Each platform has its own benefits. And there's so many more platforms I could talk about, to be honest, but I won't bore you. But those are some of the main ones.
Yeah, perfectly fine. Because again, I think it's healthy for that kind of conversation to happen, because for us, that conversation might feel redundant to a point, because we are interactive with a lot of those softwares on a daily basis. Or you probably see those websites and pages on a pretty regular basis. Yeah. But for the average Joe listener and average Joe business owner starting out, or maybe just been in it a couple years, maybe they've never even heard of half of those, and they just went, okay, hang on, can you back the episode up? I'm writing it down. Carol, back it up. So I love it. I do think it's important to kind of mention out a lot of this, because a lot of times people just think, oh, it's Facebook, it's Instagram, and it's Twitter. That's it. No, those are the popular ones, but that's not it. So.
There's also, I have clients that are in the service industry, and they are on Meetup.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, they find clients that are interested in some of the services they provide, including services, and they're on Meetup. I have, YouTube as well, if people are looking for like online classes, or a portal as well that I can connect to their website. There's just so many different things that you wouldn't think of that's outside of the box, but it just really depends on what your goals are, what's your industry. And what are you selling?
I completely get that, because funny enough, as you were kind of mentioning that, it just came to mind iTex. If you've ever run into Terry.
Yes, love Terry. Yeah.
It just
she's bubbly just like me.
She's super awesome. She's been on the show, friend of the show.
Love it.
But it just kind of came to mind. I'm like, that's another avenue for businesses, especially smaller businesses that are starting off. Listen, I grew up in very rural Nebraska. Yeah. It was very common for the carpenter to trade work.
Barter all the time.
Yep, trade work with the mechanic on things. And hey, that's how life just got around. You pay for what you have to pay for and trade off the rest if you can.
100%. When I was first starting out, one of my clients is the Nail Fairy. She's on Instagram. She's going to be on Facebook here shortly. And she's actually acquiring her business as well as her LLC, all that great stuff. She's a certified nail tech, but I help her walk through getting an LLC, getting a place, just building the brand, doing her logo, all that great stuff. But when I first started off with her, I was just giving her advice while doing nails. I'm like, I'm about to quit my corporate cushy job. If I just give you advice while you're doing my nails, can we just trade services? And I've been working with her now since, oh my gosh, all year long now, but since I went full time in June, she's been a real help, and I think it's just been mutually beneficial. Yeah. I love bartering.
It's honestly, I wish there was more flexibility for it and more room for it.
Yes.
There's too much of it that makes sense.
Yeah,
right?
It does.
There's a lot of barter that makes sense. Now, Miss Nail Fairy, if you run into that insurance question of where do I go for my commercial insurance, you know who to come talk to.
100%.
Shameless plug for myself. Now, back into Humble Lion Consulting. I almost called you marketing, which is a big no-no, because you're not just a marketing firm. Yep. So it'd be a very big disservice if I ever call you that. So I apologize if I do.
It's okay. It's just like safety.
I know, right? I know. It's just so tough.
No, you're okay. There is a huge difference between marketing and, a lot of people coin me or put me in the same hat as marketing agencies. And although I have some similar services, I definitely do not see ourselves as a marketing agency.
You're a bit more than that, honestly. You're a bit more than that. And we'll kind of uncover as to why. I believe that kind of leads into my next question.
Oh, perfect.
Here. So whether it's startup business or a business in full swing, you're there to help, of course, as we've kind of covered through. For startups and kind of those really smaller ends of businesses that are just kind of breaking in, how can you break down what you're able to do and how you're able to help coach them and get them started on a good path for their new business, rather than I've got to stumble 500 times before I figure out the right path?
Yep. Well, I love every journey that I'm on with every single client, and I mean, although there are some similarities in some of those journeys, they're all extremely different. And that's why, again, we're not a marketing agency. We're not cookie cutter. We have to go along with the goals. And with startups, oh gosh, there's so much more when it comes to play. You know, you need to acquire LLC. You need to have a business plan. And a lot of people try to skip that or just have it all in their head. But you really need to write it down because a year later, you're going to be regretting it and doing it all over again. So might as well start right on the right foot.
And taxes wait for no one.
Tax, yes.
Keep that in
Unfortunately, the
mind.
government will be there for you.
That's the only time they're there for you on a consistent basis, by the way.
Oh, Uncle Sam. But yeah, so I mean, with startups, there's a lot more that goes into it: logo design, branding, and then creating that social media, you know, plan as well, and that strategy. And then, you know, I have some clients that already do social media, and maybe they just need monthly meetings where I meet with them and their team and provide content strategy or content calendars and other advice for their business. And then I have some that have, you know, no time. Just like a lot of small business owners have no time. And so whether or not they have the ability to post, they just don't have time for it. And so they hire me for full management where I do the designs, post for them, of course, get all the approvals. That's another thing too. I know a lot of marketing agencies post without like the approval.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of stock photos.
posts.
Yeah. Like I had one of these, a realtor that I started working with, and it was a lawn chair and green grass just last week. And I'm like, it's like freezing here.
You know it's the dead set
You know,
of
we're in
winter.
Omaha, right?
Yeah, I've seen a couple of those. It's like, yeah, you gotta know your area because the air hurts our face right now. Grass is not alive.
right. But yeah, so, you know, we make it relevant to your audience, your region, your market. So social media management is a huge thing too, but I help with business plans. And then also I come from a staffing and franchising background and also politics. That's a whole nother life.
Oh,
but
yeah.
that's where the PR comes in. That's
I
where
was
the PR
gonna
comes
say,
in.
I was gonna leave your political background to rest there, so you didn't have to get any PTSD on the show.
Don't worry. But that's where, I mean, my PR comes in, I guess,
Yeah,
is
that's
from
fair.
that background. But with staffing, you know, I was a director of multiple offices. I was the lead national salesperson. And I created a whole new training manual, operations manual, and franchise manual for the company, and created a marketing department. So from that, I could really go in and look at businesses and see what needs to be fixed from a bird's eye, because sometimes you're just, as a business owner, again, stuck in the day-to-day. So you're stuck in the weeds. And although you have an idea, you have these goals, you don't know how to get there. And there's just a wall just continuing to hit. And so when I was in staffing too, you know, it was during COVID, business was not doing well. And it was because, you know, quality workers were hard to find during COVID. And from a temp agency, you're really kind of working with people that don't really care. They're clock in, clock out, maybe that day, maybe that week, maybe a month. So turnover was crazy. And so we really switched our business model to like quality employees, long-term employees. And then I went and visited these clients as well and looked at their onboarding, their training, gave them advice. So I've kind of been in different industries, from warehouse manufacturing to law offices to staffing companies. I'm not really industry exclusive.
I was going to ask because I didn't really form up a question for that necessarily, but I'd kind of noticed on your page, I'm like, there isn't really a set tone of businesses necessarily, but I do know, as I was actually sitting down with a different guest on the show, I won't spoil that episode, but as I was sitting down with that gentleman, he was telling me that he was geared more for businesses, basically A, B, and C, rather than, hey, you know, well, those ones I can help in certain aspects, but what I'm offering specifically is not for those businesses. So that's good to hear that those doors are not really there. The doors are kind of open, so to speak. So whether you're a contractor, whether you're an electrician, whether you're a gamer, whether you're me, an insurance agent, it can be anybody.
100%. And I've worked with insurance, I've worked with realtors, worked with the gamers, of course, junk removal, party buses, wig studio. Oh my gosh, automotive industry. We had like a tenting company, and we had a car detailer as well, electrician. I mean, you name it. The biggest thing is, I guess my niche is young entrepreneurs, startups, and small business owners. And the biggest thing when it comes to that is when I sit down with you, how does that first meeting go? Can we communicate? Can we collaborate? And a big thing too is I'm not a yes person, like a yes man person. So if you're just looking for someone to post for you and not give you the strategy, not give you the winning gold behind it, then I don't want to put my name behind it, because I'm not going to be afraid to say, hey, love this idea. Yes, and
Yes,
I'm not a yes man. Yes, but I will say yes when it's a great idea. But if you hired me for my expert advice, so I want to see you make money. I want to see you do well. I want to see you grow. I have clients that are franchising their locations, because of that, getting their very first brick and mortar.
I love that.
Getting their very first employee. I mean, a little bit of everything, honestly, is what we offer here at Humble Line Consulting.
I love that. And again, just for the listeners at home here, you wouldn't hire a carpenter to come into your house and redo your entire bathroom and stop them right at the beginning and say, I don't think you're doing that right. Maybe we should do it my way. So again, if you're going to reach out and you want to grow yourself, grow your business with Humble Lion Consulting, have that open mind. Be willing to work and converse to build that goal. So I do love that, and always like to establish not rules, but boundaries like that 100%. For listeners. It's not necessarily a rule, but it is a respectful boundary that's there. Speaking of the listeners at home, just to kind of name a few of those amazing businesses that you've had the pleasure to work with right here in Omaha, nonetheless. So all of these are local companies you can Google and find. We have Ferret Electric, to Mr. Clasher, I believe he was the gaming one we were talking about a little bit ago, to Root and Branch Acupuncture, to Ollie the Trolley. I'm very curious, though. What's been one of your favorite businesses you've helped see its business goals through?
Oh, my Lord.
Or continuing.
You're asking me to choose my favorite child here?
No, just one of.
I'm live.
Just one of, no pressure.
Oh, my Lord. Well,
as I'm doing the...
Oh, gosh. Like I said, all my clients are on different journeys, and we're all in different places. Like, I have different relationships with every single one of them. And I love where every one of them are going. Otherwise, like you can tell, I'm very blunt. I would say so. I've had actually 4 of our clients win Best of Omaha for 2025.
Congratulations.
But I think overall, what my favorite is so far is Drake Roller with FM Junket. He is an amazing guy, and I love all my clients. I have to say that too. But the reason why I am excited and happy that I work with Drake is because he is very collaborative. He is very open-minded. He takes your advice and it runs with it. We started working with him in May, and the first month we doubled his reach and his following. And then we realized, okay, we've grown that. We've gotten more exposure, but I'm from small town Carson, Iowa. Although, yes, I do serve Omaha and surrounding areas, but I don't really need to have so many people. I need to have more leads and more sales from that. And so we focus more on engagement. So the summer we spent on engagement campaigns, which check out his Facebook. You can see Friday Finds, which we're still doing. We had, kind of Find Waldo type of thing with a big airplane bullet that he found and painted green, and would hide it in junk and give out sweatshirts to people. So we created that engagement campaign, and a lot of his business has now come from Facebook. And I guess I'm an affirmations. One of my love languages is affirmations, and he's just like, Caitlin, you're amazing. Like this has happened. Blah blah blah. And so I love hearing that too. So my clients make me feel better. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. No, all my clients are amazing, and all of them honestly, it's a mutual relationship when it comes to all my clients. Like, we really benefit each other, and that's, I probably am, if not all, consumer for all my clients as well. My personal trainer, I work out with them. Ollie the Trolley, I go on their rides. I haven't had any junk yet.
But when you do.
But when I do, I know who to call. But no, the reason why I just really enjoyed this particular journey, and not saying it is my favorite, but why I'm enjoying this is because since May, he's grown so much through Facebook. We've hosted a job fair, went to a job fair, getting employees, just got his brick and mortar. And not only is he having a home office for FM Junket, he's creating 2 other businesses to bounce off of it as well. So it's a car wash and then also a vintage shop. So all the cool finds that he finds during junk removal. And so it's just he's blowing up unbelievably. And that is just proof and evidence of just collaboration. It really is. All of our clients have the opportunity to be Best of Omaha. All of our clients have the opportunity to grow and get a brick and mortar like the Nail Fairy and FM Junket. But again, you got to take the advice and we got to work on this together. It's not just a cookie cutter. It's not
Caitlin does it for you.
Yes, it's not I do it for you. I'm here to support you and make sure that you actually achieve your vision. And when you do, and when you actually do collaborate well, these are the beautiful things that come out of it.
Of course. And I only picked some of the names that I had mentioned because those were some of the just brand recognitions that I had seen and just honestly some of the logos that caught my attention.
I mean, thank you. I did some of those.
Yeah, Ferret Electric, of course, is adorable. So I have to mention Ferret Electric because it's just a yellow ferret and that's fine with me.
And there's a cord around it. So check out.
There is a power cord.
Yes, there is a power cord, but there's a whole story behind that.
Yes.
So I mean, this is also...
I'll share it with the listener. I've heard this story, but I will.
Yes.
I'd love for you to share it with the listener. It's a great story.
Sure. Yeah. So I mean, this is part again of the authenticity and genuineness that comes behind Humble Lion and the logo and branding design when it comes with working with clients. And I sat down with the owner, Brent Jackson of Ferret Electric, and got to know him a little bit more in the first meeting. He learned that he is a third generation electrician, and great job.
Button. I've been saying it for a year now.
But he is a third generation electrician. And, recently, a few years ago, his dad and his grandpa both passed away. And, he's been doing the work for a while. And he thought, why not carry on the family legacy? Why not have my own company? And he has a ferret himself. So he does love ferrets. It's not just his mascot.
Fair enough.
But the history behind it that really inspired this design. He was telling me how back in the day, ferrets would actually get treats through crawl spaces to help electricians pull the wires through. And so the idea of a wire wrapping around its mouth and running through Ferret Electric really just kind of burst from that with energy. And, those are the type of things I really love doing when it comes to logo design is like understanding like who you are, why you're doing this, and like why you're passionate about it. Like who are you?
I also love that America has some of the weirdest history on the planet.
We do.
It's great. Like,
but everywhere's weird and we're not going to discriminate.
Oh no, everybody's weird. But America is just like strange because we're just going to hand a cord to a ferret and train it to run through a wall. Whereas then you also had miners that are like, we're just going to bring this canary. And if you don't know what that is, that's a little bit darker. You can Google that one.
Well, what about pigeons in New York? There's so many pigeons over there because they used to be carriers. They used to be mail carriers.
Yeah, and now the conspiracy is they're all government drones. So
they might be. That's a whole other episode, though. What are we doing here?
Oh, pigeon drones. How we love you during Christmas time. Now, of course, it wouldn't be a show about networking and you as a company here for Humble Lion Consulting if I didn't ask you if there was any events coming up that you weren't either a part of, promoting for businesses you may work with, etc. Here ringing in the 2025 year.
Well, with 2025 coming to mind, I am having a New Year's party. It is co-hosted with the Kids Table as well as a different networking group. If you don't know either of those groups, the Kids Table is a free young professional group for those that are 35 and younger, whether they're a young entrepreneur, C-suite, or, just a salesperson. It's a very welcoming place. We meet every Monday from 12 to 1 at Tanner's off of 119th and Pacific. So come check us out. And then a different networking group is also another free networking group, and it is a very diverse group. It is not industry exclusive, so there are other realtors in the room, there might be other insurance agents in the room, there might be other marketing agencies in the room, but it's very raw and unfiltered, and that's why I love going to that group, because you never know what you're going to talk about, and you talk a lot about like the current events in Omaha, what's happening, and of course it relates to some of the industries that are in that room. But anyway, those are two really great groups that I've been a part of for a few years now, and we decided to do a collaboration for New Year's. It's going to be January 10th from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. That is a Friday. It's going to be a New Year's party. However, families and guests are welcome. We're expected to have over 100 people.
Wow, that's going to be quite the event.
Yes, and you didn't get the catch yet. It's going to be at the Amazing Pizza Machine.
Ooh, friend of the show, Katie Hosner. Yes.
She's awesome.
I love
Another
Katie.
Bubbly person. I mean, we're also both Katies, so I got to relate.
That's true. That is fair. And yeah, for those of you on Facebook Live right now, of course, listeners at home will already know this when this episode is out. But if you want to help support the Amazing Pizza Machine, they have have an episode on us, you can find us on Facebook, United Insurance Agencies, or just Google UIA Trusted Partners Podcast. Help support amazing Omaha businesses, much like Humble Lion Consulting. Now, I'm looking forward to that. I've written down all of that. I'll put it on my calendar and make sure that I can come on out and have some fun and do a little networking. That's what it's all about. Meet some amazing businesses that you wouldn't know about firsthand sometimes. Right. So it is great to know and learn about all these awesome businesses we have here in Omaha. And speaking of an awesome and amazing business and industry, Humble Lion Consulting. Now, as we talk, listeners at home, whether this be on Facebook Live, whether this be the recorded episode after the editing, this could be an industry that likes to jump out at people. Yeah. This might be something that just kind of sparks that for somebody and they go, I just want to know more. How do I do this for a living? What's the best way for somebody to get started?
Well, I mean, I have no marketing degree. Like I said, I came from a political background and then was in staffing. I got my degree in global political science. And honestly, if you are creative enough or if this is something that you're passionate about, just go for it and find mentors. Feel free to reach out to me and see how maybe you can join the Humble Lion team. We are growing. We've just hired on a couple more people as well. So I'm always looking for new people, especially in 2025 as we continue to grow. But even if you don't work for Humble Lion, talk with me and maybe I connect you with someone or just at least give you some general advice in the right direction. Find a mentor is the biggest thing.
I love that. Yeah. You don't know what you don't know, and people know a lot more than you think. That's 100%. always the two adages I think are oxymorons of each other. Yeah. But it is a true adage still nonetheless, unfortunately.
And actually, real quick, too, sorry to interrupt.
Of course.
I have been talking with the team as well. We have been talking about having courses online on our website. So you just pay like a membership and you can get all these little videos about, social media tricks and tips, all that great stuff. So that might be something coming soon in 2025. And so if that's something you're interested in, maybe after the one-on-one, we'll talk a little bit more about that, too.
I love that. Well, if you ever need a narrator, you know where to find one.
100%.
Yeah. Of course, when we talk about Humble Lion marketing or Humble Lion Consulting, there I go to say it again. You guys, I know.
You did it again.
Dollar in the jar. Dollar in the jar. Now, I'm curious, though. You have talked about all these amazing businesses. I couldn't get you to choose one necessarily.
I know that's hard.
That was like splitting the heartstrings.
I'm sweating right now. I'm just I'm sweating right now.
It's the burning questions.
You're all my favorite.
Yes. But I am curious, and this might not be something that maybe necessarily gives a favorite by chance, but I am very curious since you've started this journey with Humble Lion Consulting all the way until now. What has been something that has just always stuck out or maybe even recently stuck out for you that's just a major pride point for what you do?
Well, I think the biggest thing is the community we built. When we celebrated our anniversary and our client appreciation event, we really saw the amount of small business owners in the room. It was empowering. Seeing that community that we built, the relationships that we built, and the actual impact that we've had, not only on their small businesses, but the community surrounding them has been amazing. But my pride point, which again, like I said, I'm getting new employees and, growing the team is actually being able to delegate and focus a little bit more on Humble Lion, because just like any other small business owner that I'm coaching, consulting, I get stuck in the day-to-day, and I have not focused on my own company until...
You mean you're not immune to the day-to-day?
It's like the pest control having bats in their house. Like, I swear, I have this one meme that says when a social media manager tries to manage their own page, and it's like that little girl with the flames of the house behind her. That is totally how I feel. But now that I have more help and more support and honestly, have been exceeding not only quality, but also the goals of each client, I feel a lot more confidence in our company and our team, and being able just to say that, especially when I come from a staffing background, is just a huge weight off my shoulders. So shout out to the team, Jacob, Julian, Jacqueline. Oh my gosh, Jacqueline, she is my business support specialist. Could not do it without her. And then Syed, I love all of my team members. And then I have a few other people too that work part-time, Brooke Kincaid, shout out to you as well. But yeah, there's a lot of great people and vendors that we work with and employees now. And it's just, that's the most pride point, is growing not only the community with the clients, but finding the Humble Lion community and team as well. So.
I like that. That's a really awesome answer. I don't think I've had one quite shaped that way before. So I do like that and appreciate that perspective on it.
I'm out of the box, told you.
A little bit. But that's okay. Now, of course, I didn't get a chance to get this one on the paper for you. I usually include, I don't know why I didn't. I must have been tired yesterday. Spoiler, I know. But a lot of the people who have watched these episodes might know this one coming. Okay. Now, of course, running your own business and growing your own business is all well and fine.
Yeah.
But there's always the flip side of the coin.
Oh, yeah.
And I always like to ask this question. What has been one of the biggest challenges or hurdles that you've had to overcome either for Humble Lion Consulting or for your clients?
I think the biggest challenge I've had is work-life balance, and every small business owner can relate with that too.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, you have to practice what you preach. You can't tell your clients to, focus on career goals, focus on personal goals, focus on financial goals, and all you're focusing on is career goals. Luckily, I do have a significant other, and he really grounds me and sometimes snaps me out of it when I'm working day and night. I am a workaholic. It's not working when you love what you're doing, but because
it's easy to get lost in
it is super easy, and I come from a family that does that quite a bit. So being able to set those boundaries is really important. And a lot of my clients, sometimes when I was on vacation, my clients would text me back saying, "Stop working. You've already pre-scheduled everything. You've already had everything set up. You don't need to check in.
Yeah, the whole
relax. Yeah, slap on the hand for my clients. Yes, but yeah, that work life, and I'm learning how. And part of being a small business owner is being able to have that time freedom and have that personal freedom. And so I need to make sure I'm taking advantage of that and also just focusing on my personal time as well. And so with the team and just with how Humble Lion's been growing, I've been able now to focus a little bit more on that and hopefully give back more time to my boyfriend as well, and my dogs, my adorable dogs.
Well, we're happy to hear that that's kind of been the biggest challenge, that nothing else out of left field come out and haymakered you guys, but
not yet.
Yeah, sorry, Editor Matt, we just killed your audio. But,
I'm gonna come back in 2025. You set me up.
Yeah, I'm gonna get an angry X message. I think.
That's hilarious. That should be a meme, honestly.
You get an angry X message.
You get a message from your angry ex.
That's going to be the new marketing 2025. It's like, don't get an angry letter from your ex, and have a Twitter comment that's just somebody's scathing review. It's like, don't get an angry letter.
I love it.
Work with Humble Lion Consulting today.
There we go. No commission on that. I'm just kidding.
Nope, free. That one's free. Now, my very last question that I've prepared on the day for Humble Lion Consulting. What do you want listeners to know, either more about when it comes to Humble Lion Consulting or about your industry in general?
Yeah. Well, for example, when you said Humble Lion marketing, there is a huge difference when it comes to a marketing agency and a consultancy. I tailor make my strategies to the goals that you're trying to achieve and to the pain points that you're experiencing. And then from there, we're able to prioritize and budget to what you're needing for that. When it comes to marketing, a lot of people put a lot of weight behind paid advertising. And although that is a great tool, organic social media and marketing is where it's at, because that's where those leads turn into actual customers. So when it comes to Humble Lion Consulting, if you are just feeling like you're stuck day to day, or you feel like you've reached your potential, but there's something more, or you have this bigger goal, but you just don't know the stepping stones to get there, then reach out to Humble Lion, because we're here to help you actually achieve that. And I see it as a partner that's walking next to you. I have my very first client, he fired me, quote unquote, I think it was 7 months, 6-7 months after working with him, because when we started working together, he had that expense of that shop.
Sure.
Had a part-time employee that he only was able to pay monthly. And now he has 7 full-time employees underneath him. So he only reaches out to me when he needs to talk, partner to partner, because sometimes you can't tell your employees what's going on, the challenges you're experiencing, even sometimes your manager. So, having that person that can really be that bird's eye is what we're all about. We're here to wear the hat that you need at that moment.
Yep. It's always healthy and it's always appreciated to get somebody with a different set of eyes on the problem. So have that different set of eyes with trained professional and owner of Humble Lion Consulting, Caitlin Sadie. Now, those are my business questions of the day. Is there anything else before we wrap those up that you want to let listeners know about, whether it's about Humble Lion, whether it's just something you've got going on?
I think there's a lot of stigma against working with like marketing agencies or working with a consultant. And some of it is authenticity and genuineness. And so, hopefully you can tell by this podcast and by this Facebook Live and by this stream that, I am not that type of person. And when you look at it, especially as a small business owner, if you even hired a part-time employee, paying them, and not being an expert too, so they probably will take longer on these projects, paying them would cost more than hiring an expert in the area that really does have skin in the game. I don't have any long-term contracts. I'm month to month. And it's because I want our plans to be flexible with our goals and what they need, but also because I want to have skin in the game. I want to show you the ROI. I want to show you that you can do better, and those goals and those achievements that you're hoping to wish, I can actually help fulfill. So I think that's the biggest thing when it comes to Humble Lion. But I'd be happy to talk with any startup, young entrepreneur, or small business owner.
I love that. Don't be like our upcoming president and just be like, actually, I'm the best at Twitter. I'm actually too good. That's taken away from me. I'm so good at social media. It's unbelievable. I'm not saying this, but people are telling me this. So don't be that guy.
That was a really good impression.
Well, thank you.
Oh my God.
I love that because the camera gets you on the reaction. Because I've thrown that out to a couple of people, and it's always a kind of a question like, whoa.
What happened here? Who are you?
I'd love to make that joke because
President Trump?
Don't know what you're talking about. Never heard of him. Heard he's a great guy, though. Heard he's really handsome. Not saying this, but people are telling me these things.
Love it. I love it.
If only I was orange and had a wispy blonde hair. Now, I always like to kind of just joke around about that because this case, it pertains so well.
Yeah.
Because realistically, that's a little joke to make at Trump's expense there, but that is such a grain. Oh, I hope. That'd be great for publicity.
It would be.
But there's a grain of truth to that joke of don't be the guy that sits there and goes, I'm the best at social media. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I clearly am posting and doing just fine on my own with all of 2 customers in my building. So, don't be that guy. Reach out when you do need that help with Humble Lion Consulting.
My cheeks are hurting. We're like laughing and smiling so much now.
Well, that's good. That means we're having fun here.
I love it. Yeah.
Now it is on to our personal questions.
All right. Let's get personal.
It is one, I always lead this off because I joke a lot about this question. I am the summer child at heart. I am Hawaiian shirts, khaki shorts, and flip-flops all
I totally
summer.
see it now. Like Ace Ventura vibes right there. Yep.
Very.
Yep.
Funny enough that you say that, I got called Ace the other day. I was wearing a Hawaiian shirt.
Well, it's winter. Of course they're going to call you Ace. You have the hair too.
I had the hair, but it was funny. So I think my hair got wet or something. So like the middle drooped and I just had like the horns going up.
Can you just show that real quick?
Am I like,
yeah, no, it's good. It's good.
Yeah. So I was checking out of the store and the cashier goes, "You don't have to be named Ace, do you?" And I just kind of chuckled and I was like, haha, like Ventura. And he goes, "Yeah." Like, he just was blown away that my hair was doing the thing, I think. And he was just very scared. But
not a lot of men get that type of hair. So
I get some crazy hair. I always got the joke when I was in radio that I stuck my finger in an outlet before I went to work. That was always the joke.
Are you sure that was about your hair and not your mind? I'm just kidding.
It's a good question. I got the face for radio, so it does play off. So my question that I like to joke about is now that it's winter and the air hurts my face and everything's miserable outside, what is something that you look forward to?
Yeah. Oh gosh. I am honestly, I've gotten to be more of a homebody, so I don't really go out to bars and stuff. I mean, there are amazing restaurants.
I don't really go out to bars and stuff. Good. I'm more talking like, it could be a nice little light show. It could be like the zoo lights that they do every year now.
Yeah. So, I mean, for me, again, not to sound like a workaholic, but my work is life because I love the partnerships I'm with. And Ollie the Trolley has like the most amazing, epic holiday light tours, the Jolly Ollie holiday light tours. And
say that 5 times.
Right, say that real fast. Jolly Ollie holiday light tours. Jolly Ollie. Okay, nope. But no, I went this past week because I like to go on their tours just so I can get behind the scenes footage, and it was super fun for all ages too. Like there was a grandma there was kids there was just couples there was college students there. Some people were drinking, some people were having tea. Like it was just a whole vibe itself, and you got to see so many amazing lights. And I love holiday lights. Like that is something. When I was a kid, I would just go and have my family drive through the neighborhood. So love the holiday light tour.
Love that.
And then honestly, I just love, hot cocoa and Christmas cookie nights and watching like Harry Potter and stuff like that. I feel like Harry Potter is 'tis the season.
It's really funny. I was just watching a video the other day. People were talking about what is a Christmas movie and what is not a Christmas movie. Harry Potter came up on that list. Yeah. And the argument was, I'm pretty sure in like every single movie and every single book, they celebrate Christmas.
They do. Yeah. And it's so gorgeous, honestly.
It's very funny to me that they celebrate Christmas in those books because I'm like, you're magic.
Yep.
You can conjure whatever you wanted, or you could just transmogrify it into whatever you wanted.
You're so right. Why are they celebrating Santa?
Is Saint Nick like just the elder wizard, and he's just like, it's Christmas magic, and this like he's the Gandalf of everybody.
Can we have a book written on this? Someone take this.
Somebody
and run.
Needs to
Someone take this and run.
Somebody's got to figure out these questions because I sure can't.
Old Saint Nick, who would have known? He's the superintendent.
Yeah, he's like Dumbledore's headmaster. Yeah, he's like in charge of him.
Love it.
Now, one thing I love about Omaha, since I've been living here, is that there's so much. Whether it's food, whether it's places to just go look, whether it's just places to go shop, whether it's an art gallery to go see, there's so much to do in this beautiful city of ours. I like to ask people, what's your Mount Rushmore of Omaha? Now, I kind of pose this to be like, if I'm coming in from out of town, what are my gotta go sees or something like that in that regard?
Gotta go sees. I feel like if you're just driving through, you could do the basics, which, all the basics are amazing, like the Jean Leahy Mall. But, however, if you want to take a step up on that, you can go to Kaneko, which is a museum downtown, which has John Simmons, who is the person who did, John Clement, who did a lot of the sculptures in the Jean Leahy Mall, and actually see a live, display from him as well, which he does like music in his sculptures, which is pretty cool. I love museums. But there's just a lot of hidden gems. Old Market, it's gorgeous to drive through. But my everyday thing, and just like when my friends come to town or when I'm hanging out with my friends in general, I love to go to the Back Nine. And yes, they are a client of mine too.
Hey, no shame plugging.
You can catch me at the Back Nine, that's for sure.
No, I love that because I haven't gotten a chance to go out to the Back Nine yet.
We have to.
We will have to get it on the books here.
It's 24/7 BYOB, and like the community there is crazy. That's why, again, I'm a huge community person, and when I find clients that like I resonate with that, I love working with them. Mercedes is very bubbly, very fun, and she just takes everything and runs with it.
Well, it sounds like she's a future friend of the show.
Ooh, yeah, we'll have to get Mercedes on here, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And just for the Facebook Live audience, and of course the listeners after the fact here, I've gotten this question off the air, and I think it's a good idea to maybe address it here before we get into your next question, is how do you pick your businesses that come on here?
Yeah.
That's the question I get. Yeah. I don't just pick businesses. I run into people. I meet people. That's how I learn about these businesses. Yeah. So if Facebook, I'm going to call to you on help here. And you
comment below
a business that you'd like to see on the show. Comment, maybe some questions for Caitlin. We can do a little Facebook Live questionnaire after we're done here.
Yeah.
But comment down below as we're going on through, if we got some viewers. We'll see. I know how Facebook Live goes about this time
I told you, I don't take care of my own house. I make my clients viral, but I'm going to have to treat Humble Lion in 2025 as my own client as well.
That's fair because I still remember like radio days doing like Facebook Lives and remotes out on location, and they'd always be at goofy times.
Yep. Yep.
And so it's like, oh yeah, there's only like 8 people watching instead of the 7,000 that are on this page. That's fine.
Love it.
Yeah,
love it.
Now, here in Omaha, as I've talked about, we have so much. There's so much to do, so much to see, so much to support. Now, one of my very, very last questions here for you. What is it here in Omaha, or what is something here in Omaha that you wish either more people knew about or supported more?
Yeah, Omaha, and the reason why I fell in love with Omaha is a lot to do with the power of networking here. And so if you're, a small business owner, or if you just want to get into a community of like-minded individuals, Omaha is literally the place for you. There's so many people that are just going places, whether it's a running club, whether it's a young professionals club, whether it's a business, advisors club, whatever it is. Omaha has a really good support system when it comes to cultivating really good, meaningful relationships and businesses. And what I wish people knew more about, and what we can highlight a lot more about, especially since Omaha is growing and it's in such a beautiful way. Gretna, everywhere is growing around Omaha. Omaha is going to be an amazing boom city here soon. I swear.
It's going to be like Denver here in a minute.
Yeah, better than Denver.
Better than Denver.
Come on.
I mean more in the sense of it's absorbed everything.
Yeah.
Like Arvada used to be its own thing. Now it's just Denver and it's south.
Yeah. But because of that, there are a lot of large companies that are here. And of course you want to support those, but there are so many small businesses here in Omaha. I mean, candle shops, wig studios. I mean, every little thing you could think of that you'd probably go out or buy online. And although that's awesome and it's great that we live in a time for that, but the small businesses, I think, are what makes Omaha and what is the heart of Omaha. And that's why I love what I'm doing, because I get to see it firsthand, all these different industries. But I mean, I wish more people knew and supported small business owners. I mean, we have Share Omaha for all the nonprofits, which is amazing. Maybe we need something. Maybe we need something for small business owners to all talk, or maybe we talk to iTech's Terry, because she works with a lot of small businesses. But it'd be cool to have a recognition page for all the small business owners and seeing what actual industries are out there. And Omaha is so large, even though I've been here for the last 4 years, I swear there's a different neighborhood that I've never seen before, a different, authentic grocery store, or the go-to place for facials. I mean, every little thing you could think of. I mean, laser tag, amazing pizza machine. Oh my gosh. Like, that is an amazing place, first of all. But like, I think I drove past it, but never even like looked at it and understood what it was, or just marked it as something else. But there's just so many businesses in Omaha. Just explore Omaha is what I recommend, and find your community, find your people, because then you're going to find where you belong in Omaha. Yeah,
I like that, because I think it's kind of interesting too that one thing that a lot of people, I guess, I never put it together until I was kind of thinking about it while you were talking. I was like, bakeries.
Yes.
There's so many bakeries here. I've had the opportunity and pleasure to have Happy Mango on here. I had Small Cakes. Spoiler, that episode's coming out soon. I had Small Cakes on the episode as well. And it was kind of dawning on me. I'm like, there are so many smaller specialty bakeries and pastry shops and just some really amazing things that you can find. Some just things that you see on TV, like MasterChef and things like that you will
100%. Omaha is a foodie place.
It is a foodie place for sure. It is. I didn't think you could find fresh macarons in Omaha.
Oh, yes, you can.
I was wrong.
It's funny that you say that about a bakery. We're, talking to a new prospective client, and they're the first gluten-free storefront bakery in the whole United States.
Congratulations.
That would be so cool to work with. But again, those are little, like, how would you even know that existed if it never even existed before?
Or
first
if
of all,
not a gluten advocate.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I had their cinnamon roll and I had their pecan coffee cake. You can't even tell the difference. It's like, it's not even butter. It's not even gluten.
I can't believe it's not butter. Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
No, that is awesome. And I'm in full agreement, because there's even Drawn Alfaro's in Papillion, I think is the name of the restaurant. The chef that's there, she is phenomenal. And it is just such a small little quaint restaurant, but it's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, Omaha is just full of all these little pocket places. It's just, again, Omaha is where it's at. And I'm so happy that I found this place and didn't write it off and realized that this is where I belong. Everything happens for a reason.
Absolutely. And, if you're ever wanting some more episodes to go check out online, of course, you can find the full list on Spotify. We're working on the YouTube side of things for the UIA Trusted Partners podcast, but we have, I think, now 65 episodes and counting up. So 65 different businesses that you can learn about and get to know. Shameless plug for myself there. As go support those businesses by listening to the episode. You are supporting them because you're learning about that business, even if it's just in 10 minutes of that episode, whether it's the full episode, it's appreciated. Now, Caitlin, unfortunately, our time has come.
I knew it was going to happen.
I know it. Now, before we do wrap up the show, of course, we have had the delight and the pleasure to sit down with owner of Humble Lion Consulting, Caitlin Sadie. Caitlin, Anything else for the listeners before we go?
Just happy new year, and I hope everyone stays warm. Thanks for listening.
Yes, stay warm. And of course, we appreciate you coming on the show, Caitlin. And listeners at home, we appreciate you as well. So thanks for tuning in to the UIA Trusted Partners podcast. We'll have more next time.